Okay, while this discussion and debate is going on, viewers, I am privileged to be joined by, on the program this evening, by Anita Bose Pfaff. She is the daughter of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. She says she is extremely furious at what's going on, and she is joining me live from Germany. Can you hear me, ma'am? Anita ji, can you hear me? This is Arnab Goswami here. And you are live now. If you tell me that you can hear me, I'll proceed with my next question.
I'm afraid I have no sound at my end.
Okay. Okay. So can I just try to fix that? Anita Bose, can you hear me? I'll just be louder. This is Arnab here.
Still no sound.
Can you hear me? Okay, so this is a very important point in the program, and she is, viewers, my most important
now I can hear you.
tonight. Okay, great. So there is a delay, but you can hear me. So this is fantastic. I will keep my questions short, and I will leave it to you. Anita Bose, my question to you is this, that with this latest report from the Central Forensic Science Laboratory of Kolkata, the debate about Gumnami Baba has resurfaced. On my program, there are several researchers.
I'm afraid I refuse to accept this whole Gumnami Baba story. It is an insult to my father, and I'm not entering into any nonsense like that. If people do not accept scientific evidence, this is their own business, but I think they're rather stupid if they don't. You can't just go on with a conspiracy story and try to persuade people that all sorts of things might have happened because you don't like what facts are.
Why do you believe some people don't like what the facts are, as you say?
Oh, that has different reasons. Some have their own axe to grind and they have their own interests in that. Some want to gain publicity by sort of warming up this nonsensical story all the time. And maybe some just want to insult Netaji. I would not put it beyond some people.
Anita ji, last August you had sought for DNA tests to be done on the ashes kept at the Renkoji temple in Japan to quote-unquote bring out the truth. Why do you think Gumnami Baba was not Netaji? What convinces you, if I may say so? What is that one or two? What are those fundamentally two or three things which convince you?
First of all, the personality of Netaji is such that it is inconceivable that he returned anonymously hiding behind this curtain or a screen and claiming that he lives there as a sannyasi without getting involved in his country's affairs. And the other question is that the story of the plane crash is a very convincing one, and I'm willing to, since some people do not accept it, to try for a DNA test and have them get scientific evidence that the remains at Renkoji are his. I'm personally quite convinced that they are, and Gumnami Baba's story is just an outrageous insult to Netaji.
Anita ji, I respect the fact that you're coming and speaking to me about this, and please don't take it otherwise, but I need to just ask you a couple of follow-up questions. American handwriting expert Carl Baggett, with over 40 years of experience...
Handwriting expert.
Well, did they conclude something in the handwriting? They said the handwritings of Gumnami Baba and those of Netaji match, that they are the same person. Does that intrigue you?
Graphological evidence is most unconvincing, and it is a sort of hocus-pocus thing anyway.
You say it's hocus-pocus, but can I therefore proceed to ask you that among many things found in Gumnami Baba's possession were reportedly binoculars issued by German military dating back to World War II, a family portrait of Netaji's parents, Janakinath Bose and Prabhavati Bose. Why would this be the case?
I don't know why Gumnami Baba was interested in these things, but a binocular is certainly not the only one and only binocular that existed in Germany. And family portraits of the Bose family are certainly also common enough that anyone can get them. If he was interested, then why not?
You're saying that Gumnami Baba was only interested in Netaji?
I don't know I don't know anything about Gumnami Baba. I don't know whether he was interested. But if you say that he had pictures of the Bose family, then probably he was interested in the Bose family.
But the Mukherjee Commission says that the Netaji did not die in the plane crash.
Let me not get into the Mukherjee report right now, because that's a story on its own.
But just following up, French secret files also refused to buy the plane crash theory. I'm just putting some evidence before you. There was a French secret report dated 11th December 1947 at the National Archives of France, which stated that Netaji did not die in the plane crash but had escaped from Indochina. Do you believe he could have...
Look at the other reports. I mean, there are also some people who believe that the Apollo mission never got to the moon, and that Kennedy's assassination has a mysterious thing, and all sorts of stupid stories going around. People enjoy these conspiracy stories, and I think it is very deplorable that that way a personality like Netaji is being insulted.
Well, one last question. Do you think there's a possibility, which is also, there is evidence to that effect, that he perhaps did not die in the plane crash, but that he managed to enter Russia? Because there is a lot of anecdotal evidence to that effect as well. Do you think that is a possibility? If I were to take the Gumnami Baba theory out, do you think that is a possibility that could be looked at?
Let me put it that way. It's less absurd than the Gumnami Baba story. But since there are several eyewitnesses who were on the plane and survived, and there are other family members of persons who died in the plane crash, who have no problems believing in the plane crash, I can see that in 1946, 1947, 1948, all this evidence was not available, and many of the documents were not declassified at that time, so people speculated about all sorts of things. But I think we had inquiry commissions, two from India, which came to the conclusion that he died in the plane crash. Some other evidence, and this sounds all quite convincing. And I think the eyewitness report of the doctor who saw to him during his last hours of life, and the interpreter who was there, Habibur Rahman, who was there, who always kept this same story. So this is all very convincing, and everything else that has been around is pure speculation. Even though the idea of his having gone to the Soviet Union is less absurd, but it's pure speculation. There's no evidence whatsoever, whereas there's quite a bit of evidence that the plane crash took place.
Yes. Yeah. Well. Anita, Bose, I'd only say this at the end. That I said earlier, a while earlier, that I don't think of any other person who, 80 years almost after they are believed to have passed away, invokes so much interest, and that tells you about the personality of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And finally, I want to tell you that while this is all very intriguing for me as well, I did tell Anuj Dhar a while back, I think about a month back, when I called him, I said the only part that does not match is the personality of Subhash Chandra Bose. That part does not match. Subhash Chandra Bose is not a person, who could have lived in hiding. That is the only personality factor which doesn't make sense to me as well. I appreciate your coming on my program. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for your sentiments about my father's personality.
Well, I can tell you this, I cannot express it in words. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
There you are.